Hello and welcome to the story Pilgrim, Sheffield Park, Cultivating Motivations. Now, depending on how you're tuning in, this episode might feel a little bit different. If you're listening in on your usual podcast platform, whether that's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean or Buzzsprout, you won't notice anything unusual. But if you are watching via YouTube, hello, you can see me. This is my first episode where I ventured into the world of video alongside audio, and I'm excited to share this new format with you. For those of you watching, you'll get a little extra content, just a little bit, not too much, don't get too excited, but let me reassure you, if you are listening in with just your ears, then you're not missing out on the heart of the episode. So, without further ado, let's step into the stunning Sheffield Park and Gardens. No, it's not in Yorkshire. I'll tell you where it is later. It's a National Trust property, and I'm going to explore the theme of motivation and how we can turn our desires into action and what it takes to keep moving forward. Well, good morning. This is going to be a different episode today. Not different in a way. It is in a way, but it isn't. The episode should be the same if you're listening to this on the podcast, which is what you should be because it is a podcast, isn't it? I am going to experiment with trying to do some video at the same time. So I have no idea how it's going to go, but we'll see. I have come up to Sheffield Park and Gardens. If I spin around here, you'll be able to see that there is a lovely lake with screeching seagulls. Seagulls just get everywhere. And there is the house. It's quite a flat house. It kind of looks like churchy. It looks like it's got a chapel at the end there, and a little tower, white tower in the middle. It is here because of Capability Brown. It seems that most of the National Trust properties or have something to do with Capability Brown, but then was later owned by, in the 20th century, by, is it Albert or Alfred? It's an A, Gilstrap Soames. Alfred, we'll go with Alfred, Gilstrap Soames, which is a great name, isn't it? I'd like to know more about him. But yeah, I'm going to experiment with trying to do audio and video. I kind of have a problem with that because for me, a podcast is the audio. You listen to a podcast, and there's all these podcasts now that are out there that it's all about the video, and they just sit in a studio and they just sit and talk, and yeah, that's nice. But it's kind of easy, isn't it? And isn't that a television show? Why is it classed as a podcast? And why am I doing this? Why do I feel I need to put video on it? Like I said, I am a bit scared about the editing of it and how I edit the audio as I normally do, because I've got quite a good routine down with that using my Zoom H5. But what does that mean when I tie the video into it? So yeah, let's see what we do. Right, one thing I realised is on my first little bit there, I had the video in portrait, and I really probably should put it in landscape, shouldn't I? Yeah, so here I am wandering through, and kind of feel like I've walked into I've said it before, into a painting, this beautiful picture, you know, you've got this stunning. Now, this is the thing now with video, you're going to be able to see the trees that I'm seeing. Look at that, look at the size of that. Massive. So you'll know if I've got it wrong or what it is. So maybe I'll stop doing that. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it's you know, it's steeped in history here. But the one thing that I want to come back to that I think I've spoken about before is motivation. I really struggle with this. I really struggle with trying to figure out what it is that sometimes I can get really motivated about certain things, and other things I know I need to, but I don't. What is that? What is motivation? What sparks motivation? What sparks the desires that I have, the dreams that I have? How do I get the motivation to want to do that, to want to move forward? So I think I'll just, as I walk around the gardens and walkways here, there are several walks that you can do at Sheffield Park and Gardens. I want to be thinking about the thing of motivation. What is that? And what is that tree? Look at it, it's massive. I'm really going to have to start learning, aren't I, about nature. And yeah, can you see that? Yeah, I got to stretch my arm out. There's a gateway made here out of trees. Oh no, they're not growing. One of them is growing, and then the other's been built around it. And there's a metal round piece that they have put in. But I'm coming into the woodland area, and there are all these wonderful little bivouacs that have been made, that I'm sure it's great for the kids to come in here and make up little stories. But we're coming into the woodland side, and I'm going to walk around the woodland side. A lot of conifers, but there are a lot of oaks and sycamores. It's quite rich in the variety of trees and ferns, lots of mosses. So yeah, let's have a wander around the woodland area. My hands are still cold. Motivation, born in the 1850s, according to the Oxford English Dictionary. They simply tell us that it is the driving force that causing a person... I can't speak today. It's a driving force that causes a person to initiate, maintain, and direct their behaviour towards a goal. I'll be delving into more of that later. In the meantime, my mind was on other things, and I needed to explain something. So, yeah, why am I doing that? Well, I don't have a clapperboard, and my experience of being on set on things like The Crown, Doctors, yes, and various silly little films and short films that I've done, you always have a clapboard. Clapperboard is there when they say, like, the story Pilgrim, Sheffield Park, scene 7, take 1. And then that is so that then they can marry up the audio and the video when they come to the editing. So I don't have a clapperboard. I was thinking about slapping my head, but I've got a hat on, and so that would be not a very good noise, would it? I've just the so I'll just do a and see if I'll obviously edit them out, apart from this bit, because that's what I'm explaining, isn't it? Oh look, we're getting very tropical now. These lovely little palm trees. I always feel palm trees in England kind of, they don't look right, do they? Does it just, it's nice, but I mean they shouldn't be there really, should they? I mean, one of the things is my hands are freezing. I should put my gloves on, but I can't, because I won't be able to press the buttons then. I'm going to be doing a lot of that. And for those of you on the audio, you will never know what I just did. Hee hee. There was an awful lot of activity on the lake. I think we're going to call it a lake, but come out here now, and it's just lovely, nice and quiet. Not many birds that you can hear. Get the occasional couple going off, but I think I'm at like the north end of the wood. Sheffield Park is about 4 miles from Haywards Heath. We're in the county of Sussex. I'm not sure if there is a Sussex, East Sussex and a West Sussex, or it's just East and West. I think there might be a Sussex as well. So it's not too far for me to come up here from Brighton. It's only like a 45-minute drive, driving over the South Downs, through Ditchling, Withersfield. Haywards Heath is the nearest town. Uckfield is really close. It's not as big a town. But it is, I've said it before on other episodes, I just love how I'm right by the seaside, but within a 20-minute drive, 30-minute, 40-minute drive, I can be in an area surrounded by lovely woodland, countryside. Yeah, you can hear the occasional plane going over, but very, very lucky indeed to have this so close. I also took out a membership today for the National Trust. It's been something that I've been wanting to do for quite a while now, and I took out a joint membership, which is just over £150 a year for the two of us. And you think single entry to this place today was £18. So if two of us came, that's £36. If I did 5 visits during the year to a National Trust property at that, then it's going to pay for itself. So I think by getting the membership, that's going to motivate me now. That tree's all fallen down and looks quite eerie. It's going to motivate me and Lucy to get out there and to see these properties. And there's over 500 throughout the UK. Look at some charcoal that's been put down there to drying out. This area is being managed to encourage butterflies. Please follow main paths. There's another path going off that way. That's cute, isn't it? So I'm excited to have that membership, and I think if we sort of set a goal of, like, say, at least once a month, heading out to a National Trust property, then I can bring you along with me, and we'll make the most of that membership. I think for £150 a year, I think it was £90 for a single one. I think it's a bargain, actually. So I think we're very, very lucky again to live in a country where we have that available to us. Stood next to this piece of a tree, which kind of looks like it's where the roots were, but it also could be at the top, and it's just sticking out. It's just like a massive piece of wood, and it's going off in all different directions. It's amazing. That would make a really cool coffee table, but I think we should just leave it out in nature. Really, really massive piece of wood, and it's just sat there. It looks like it might have been cut down from up the top. I think that's more rootish than anything. It's been pulled up maybe from a hole over here. There's been various, obviously, they're forestering. Forestering? Is that a word? It is now. Forestering. Spell check wants me to change that to festering or foreseeing. It's forestry, Darren. Oh, for crying out loud. Anyway, back to me and my thinking about motivation. So as I'm wandering around, I thinking about motivation, and as I'm surrounded by these wonderful trees and the lake, and there is a flower garden or rose garden and stuff here. Those all started by somebody planting them, or they all started from seeds, and it was somebody's idea. And that's pretty much, like my dreams, my desires are there. There's another pond through there. I don't know if you can see it. You're probably not going to be able to see it, but there is. I'm telling you, there's a pond through there. But yeah, those seeds, those saplings have been planted into the soil, and the soil is kind of like the motivation, isn't it? So to help it grow. So what what would the metaphorical soil be for me in motivation? It's going to be challenges in my life, values, culture, determination. All of those things is what is going to be the most fertile thing for me to surround my motivation with. So maybe it is more a question of those desires, putting them in the right place, doing them for the right reason. Then the motivation will come along. I kind of hinted at that before. There's a little stream there going around a little oxbow lake, or the starts of an oxbow lake. So maybe that's what it is with regards to thinking about motivation, is where are we placing it? Where's the best place to put it where it will become the most fertile? I'm going to need more hands if I'm going to do this with the video and stuff, but coming out of the woodland area now, and there is another. This is filled with like pieces of Christmas tree, of pine needles and stuff. Circle bridge, not bridge, it's just a circle arch for you to walk through, and then we're going to go through the gate and go back into. Technically, I mean, we're always in the grounds of Sheffield Park, but now which way should I go? Should I go that way or should I go that way? That's going back up that way. I'm going to go this way. I think there's a path down there. We're going to go around here, and we're continuing on a loop around Sheffield Park and Gardens. It's very green. It's lovely. More spruces. There's a few oaks in there. Some more bivouacs, pines, lots of good stuff. Found another pond, and there's a lovely it's not makeshift, it's actual. It looks makeshift because it looks like it's just been put together. A bridge going over the inlet to this pond. The pond goes over that way. I'm going to go, and I noticed a little bench on the other side of the pond, so I'm going to go and park myself on it and have some lunch. There's another little bridge coming up here. They've used logs to be like the handrail from stopping you falling in. It's muddy. I mean, it hasn't been super wet. The reason why I've come out today is I think it's the 21st of January. I'm getting really bad with knowing what day of the week it is and what date it is. So here's the lovely bridge I'm going over. We've got all little fungi on the logs. Look at that, it's really fun. They're all sticking out like attention to like soldiers there. But yeah, I came out today because it is predicted, the weather prediction is predicted rain for the next few weeks constantly. So I wanted to get out and about before that all hits, and this will then become even more muddy. You just walk along and you just find big patches of mud in the middle of the pathway. So scoot around them. There's my bench. It's my bench now. I'm going to sit and have some lunch, and we can have a look at this lovely lake. It's all cultivated. Isn't it nice? It's not there's another lake, so there's a few lakes in this place. Sheffield Park is beautifully laid out. I had found my bench, and I tucked in. Right, so I'm sat on my bench. I've set up the camera over here so I can have two hands for a minute. And for lunch, I'm going to have. I got a Sainsbury's meal deal, and I got a beef and horseradish I can't even say it, horseradish sandwich on white bread. Some pineapple and mango. Now, I'm not too fussy about the pineapple, but I really do like mango. I think mango has to be my favourite fruit of them all. And then the classic Coca-Cola. Again, Coca-Cola, if you would like to sponsor me, sponsor this web... What is it? Oh, it's a podcast, isn't it? I don't know. If they would like to sponsor that, then more than happy for them to do that. There is a lovely... Oh, just open that up there. A lovely lake that I'm sat next to. Yeah, cheers. Oh, there's a little robin just come. Oh, where is he? Here he is. Let's see if we can get him. You probably, because I can't zoom in. Can you see? He's right there. He's quite a fat robin, actually. See how close I can get to him. Stay there. No, stay. Oh, he's off. There he went. But he'll probably come back. Ah, nature. But isn't it lovely? Look, that's my view here for my lunch. Lovely. I chose the horseradish because I think in my old age I'm getting I really like strong flavours, and horseradish is great. That robin is back, he's just right there. It's difficult because I don't know what I'm doing, but I wonder if I throw a bit of bread down. He got it. He knows. He knows. Yeah, I really like, and we've started to add mustard and horseradish to our mashed potatoes. It's really good. Highly recommend that. But no crisps today because of the mango. I felt I had to be a bit good. Yeah, cut them out. Look at the state of me. I look a right mess. Anyway, I'm enjoying me beef and horseradish, and I think the robin hopefully is enjoying that little bit of paper. Paper? I always get words wrong. I'm getting them worse and worse. A little bit of bread. Got it! I should become a wildlife photographer. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this, but I have to say, very disappointed with the pineapple and the mango selection. There was like, I'm still eating, look. I'm showing there. It's nearly all pineapple. I only got it for the mango, and there's literally like 4 pieces of mango in it. And the mango that is in it tastes like pineapple because the pineapple is so overpowering. I'm not happy. Just do mango or pineapple. Don't put them together. Why would you do that? Look at that. It's all pineapple. Not happy with Sainsbury's at all. Look, when I buy mango, I expect mango. Anyway, back to my surroundings and a little history for you. So, talking about Sheffield Park and Garden, Sheffield Place, it is mentioned in the Domesday Book of 1086 as the land given by William the Conqueror to his half-brother Robert of Mauritania. It was then called the Rape of Pevensey. Henry VIII stayed here when it was owned by Thomas Howard III, Duke of Norfolk. Capability Brown did his stuff in 1775. That's when he got his hands on this area. And then it was Arthur, not Alfred, Arthur Gilstrap Soames buys it in 1909. And in 1954, the National Trust get their hands on 81 hectares And then in 2007 they bought another 100 hectares. That's about 181 hectares. That's about 250 acres in total. So it is really, it's lovely. I mean, like I say, it's a grey, cold January day, but it's lovely. The robin kept me company while I had my lunch. Popped back to see if there's any more. I said no, and off he's gone. So yeah, it's really is a lovely little place to come and visit. Thinking back to motivation, and sometimes it feels like for me that I'm waiting for something. I'm waiting for that perfect moment, the epiphany that is going to come. But kind of like this walk, I kind of feel like it's as I'm walking through these gardens and place, that, you know, this has been planted, the seed has been planted, the saplings have been done, and then you look after it. You know, you prune it, you water it, you cut it back, you put things in different places. So it's kind of like this walk. You know, I started this walk off with a single step, and then you put another step after the other one. That's kind of what it is, isn't it? Motivation is more about the movement than the sitting still. And there are moments of sitting still. Just come up here and found the cricket pitch, the historic Sheffield Park cricket ground, the essence of Victorian county cricket. The first cricket match was played here in August 1845 between two local villages, Fletchling and Chailey. The original ground was built just prior to this match by the second Earl of Sheffield. There we go. Nice little village Victorian cricket ground. But yeah, I think motivation for me, it is it's more about the movement than the waiting for that moment to happen. Well, I'm sure they probably still do play cricket here. Yeah. Right down by the main lake, it kind of trundles down into three other areas. It's actually, yeah, it is a big lake. It goes all the way round, so the house is up in front of me, and then there's a little lake that drops down into this lake, which then drops down through this little weir going over this thing into that much larger lake. So it's full of ducks. It's beautiful. Exactly what you would expect from Capability Brown. So walking into a more of the garden side. Well, it was a big garden side. You can see the weir behind me if you're on the video. Walking into the garden side of it, and they have a little sign here saying that they're working with RHS Chelsea Flower Show medal winner Joe Perkins to create a newer garden. Within this garden, you can tell that it's much more cultivated on this side. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. And so Joe Perkins, it says it's going to be open mid 2025, so a 6 more months or so. Should have a new area, and you can tell, yeah, it's much more. The woodland area was pretty much left to its own devices. Obviously they are, you know, doing their forestering, and they're doing all of that, but over here it's more, you know, the cultivated side of things and having a nice garden down by this lake here. Get those roots that stick up. I love it. The roots sticking up next to the side of the water. Really, really cool. Coming across that cricket ground did jump out at me, out of the present, and threw me back in time. I love it, how a place or an object or a word can do that.
What has happened here before? Why is it so different now? And what were the expectations that they had or they have not met through having that cricket ground there? I nearly come a full circle walking around Sheffield Park, as had my thoughts on motivation.
So I've come up to the lake which is closest to the house now, and you can get a good idea. Standing here, there's a little bridge. It's kind of a bridge, kind of like a walkway, which then funnels down to the lake below, which then funnels down to the lake below. So it's basically 1, 2, 3, 4 big lakes here that you can see, and the design of it is just absolutely stunning. There's the palm trees, there's these conifers, there's the spruces, there's the willows, there's all the reeds, and the waterfalls going down. It is really beautiful, really worthwhile place to come and see. You've got swans, Canadian geese and ducks up here. So thinking more about motivation again, and coming to a place like this which has the natural beauty in it, the National Trust, what they do with, they have the houses as well. It's not just about the grounds, there's all of that too. And I think there's something to seeing things like this, the beauty of it, the care that is taking place, that kind of helps me with my motivation. This coming to Sheffield Park today is giving me a day out, a bit like what I spoke about in the last episode from Gothenburg, giving the gift of giving to one's self. There's a wonderful wispy tree there, looking very, very wispy. That gift of giving to oneself. I had to motivate myself to get out today. The weather helped by not being very nice. We've just moved, so I'm surrounded by boxes. That's taken longer than I would have liked. And so I'm quite tired. I'm juggling a lot of work and just doing all of that. But then when you get out there, and I'm up here and I'm out. There's another pond here. That's really cool. It's really quite big. There's a lot of water here. I think Capability Brown was known for that, wasn't he? For his use of water. That's really nice. See there, it's just it's obviously, this is man-made, you can tell. There's lovely little seats around it and willows and so that the gift of giving, I've done that to myself today. I've gone, no, come on, let's get out there, let's get this done, and then it's more of a practical thing, but then when I do it, I'm like, no, this is really good, this really helps. And I see something like that, a serene pond. It's almost glass-like. See the reflection of the trees and the bank in the pond. That motivates me. That really does. That helps me to think about what's next. What do I need to be doing? What do I want to be doing? What are my desires? What are my dreams? How do I get them? And I figure that all out when I go on a walk like this. So what's yours? What's your Sheffield Park and things that help you get out and stay motivated? So I'm coming to the end of my time here in Sheffield Park, and this tree is just magnificent. Look at it. It's just growing in different places from out the ground, and then just has like about 20 different trunks to it. It's massive and it goes up really, really high. It's right next to the lake. It's amazing. But yeah, as I do come to the end here, thinking about motivation, I'm kind of leaving, as I always do, after a day like this, with more questions than I started out with. Questions like, how do I nurture those seeds of desire that I have? How do I keep the momentum going? And how do I continue to find places like this where I can be motivated and find the beauty to keep that motivation going? I'd sort of like pass that over to you. What are those things that you need to keep you motivated? Like I said, there's certain desires, like health-wise. I need more motivation when it comes to that. All those type of things. Career-wise, no problems really for me when it comes to career. I'm quite driven when it comes to that, but then there's other things which stops my career from moving forward. Thank you for joining me on this attempt at doing this video and audio together. I have no idea what's going to happen in the next few days of me trying to put this all together. We shall see. If it's a success, then we will keep on. But the thing is also, with regards to the video and the podcast, this is where I have a problem with podcasting and what it is and its definition, and all these people that do the podcasting just sat in the studio with the videos. If you go onto any podcasting platform where you are hosting your podcast, like I use Buzzsprout, you can't upload video to it. So that means that basically I will have to make two things. I'll have to make the audio podcast, which I always do. Oh, there's a couple of peacocks here. Actually, it's 3 peacocks here. There's an albino peacock. We've got people. Let me see if I can spin around here. And I don't know what you're looking at because I can't see. But they are feeding the peacocks. Seagulls are getting involved. It's not very often you see those, is it? Yeah, let me squeeze past. Oh, there we go. Thank you. What was I saying? Yeah, podcasting. Can't upload video, so what I'd have to do is make a separate thing and upload that to YouTube. But then, if people listen to it, it doesn't go on to my stats. So how can somebody like Stephen Bartlett, that has one of the most popular podcasts, which is mainly watched on YouTube, they say it's the best podcast out there, or it's the most popular podcast. Where's his numbers? His numbers are coming from YouTube, but YouTube is video, so it's not really. Is it a podcast? I have all these things, questions going along with that, with regards to, how do you get your? If I all of a sudden get really good numbers of people watching this on YouTube, then it's not going to show up on my podcasting analytics. I don't get it. Oh well, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.
As I sit here reflecting on my walk through Sheffield Park, I'm reminded of how profoundly the spaces we choose to inhabit can shape our thinking. That quiet rhythm of walking, surrounded by beauty, seems to have a way of making the world feel bigger and our worries smaller. Motivation, as I've mused today, is so much more than just a fleeting spark. It's an ongoing conversation between our desires and our actions, between where we are and where we want to be. And sometimes it's stepping into a place of beauty, a place like Sheffield Park, to reignite the inner dialogue. This brings to mind something that Theodore Roosevelt once said: do what you can, or should I do an American accent? No, I won't. Do what you can with what you have. No, I will. Do what you can with what you have where you are. It's such a simple yet profound reminder that motivation doesn't have to be waiting for the stars to align for the perfect opportunity to present itself. It's about starting where you stand, no matter how small or uncertain that the step might feel. For me, Sheffield Park became a reminder of the importance of finding those spaces, whether they're physical places like a garden or a forest, or mental places like a moment of stillness, to reconnect with what truly drives us. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Sheffield Park and through video and audio. Whether you were walking alongside me in the gardens or simply listening or watching, wherever you are, if this episode resonates with you, then I'd love for you to follow, subscribe, now I'm on YouTube, and maybe even share it with someone who you think may use a little extra motivation in their life. The Story Pilgrim was written, walked, talked, edited, recorded, videoed, produced, directed by me, Darren Hill. Anya Backer provided the wonderful original music on Sean the Harp. For more about me, Anya, go to The Story Pilgrim. Well, that's not there. It's there, look. thestorypilgrim.com. Find me on all social medias. Thanks for listening. Keep listening. And buen camino.